We're here at the APRI conference at the Diplomat in Fort Lauderdale, actually Hollandale Beach, just south of Fort Lauderdale. And I have the pleasure of standing here with Clayola Brown, and she's the national president of the APRI. Welcome to Roundtable with Steve, and I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you so very much, Steve. It's my pleasure.
Well, tell me about some of the things that that the organization, actually, a lot of people aren't familiar with the organization, so explain a little bit about the organization and some of the things that you've done, and then some of the things that you have in the works.
Okay. Well, the A. Philip Randolph Institute is not new to the scene, but we are a select group of folk, as they like to say. We are an education conference, and it's the arm and the bridge from the black community to the labor movement. But the broadness of what we do is registering people to vote. We teach political issues. We do community activities, and we partner with communities to empower them for improvement. That's what we do on the regular. That's every day. That's not just the conference. But we were founded by Asa Philip Randolph 75 years ago. Wow. Yes, and we've been doing these conferences for 48 years. Asa Philip Randolph and Bayard Rustin. I can't leave him out because he was very instrumental. Yes, that's what we do now. But the springboard that it comes from was the organization of the sleeping car porters. Bayard Rustin and Asa Philip Randolph, more Mr. Randolph than Bayard, saw the need. The porters came to them because they were not being paid and being disenfranchised, just like a lot of employers do these days. Right. It took 12 years to get them organized in Fort Pullman to recognize that these men who stayed long hours away from their families deserved a living wage. It took 12 years to do it, but by God, they got themselves organized and became the network for information up and down the Northeast coast.
So what do you guys have planned in the future? And we're going to get on your membership in a second, because I also want to find out how to become a member and how my guests can become, how my viewers can become members as well. But what kind of things do you have planned? I know you do a lot when it comes to voter registration and you know, grassroots efforts and things of that sort. If you could touch on that a little bit for me. Well,
the voter registration piece that we do is to take a look at the communities where the numbers are low. A lot of folks have been so discouraged because the operation or process has been complicated, and we think on purpose, to make sure that a certain element of voters do not get an opportunity to exercise their right. We go into the community, run voter registration sessions with people, and knock door to door to find out if households are completely registered. We do that year round, not just when it comes to an election and not just for a presidential election, because as most folks will realize and understand very well, the way to get your community empowered or improved is to take a look at those down ballot issues that occur and the elections that occur all year long. It's important that we elect people to the school board if our schools are not what we want them to be. It's important that we take a look at who speaks for us on the commission. It's important for us to know how it is that we get a mayor, a governor, how it is that we get a councilman, and to be one of the ones that have a voice in saying how they are going to get there. So we do that. But also a part of it is we teach folks how to do public speaking so that they feel empowered when they get before a crowd and make their messages real clear. And we teach our young people. We start with 17 to 24 as leadership training. But we have a group even smaller than that as activists. They're out there.
And that's one thing I wanted to ask about too, is a lot of the younger generation. How do you get them into the organization, and how do you get them engaged? Because right now, a lot of the young generation, they're more engaged with, you know, their phones.
Yes.
So how do you get them engaged and keep them engaged? You know, to do a lot of the things that you have planned.
Well, you're right about the telephone, and we use that instead of trying to attack it. We use it. Most of what we do, we are able to download pieces for our young folks to pull up from their phone. Use that telephone like an in-hand computer, because that's basically what it is.
Exactly.
A lot of our communities are not wired properly for a hard landline. But I can tell you what, our young people can use a telephone better than a hard line any day.
Yeah.
So we put information there about the community in which they live, so that when we talk about what is it that you can do to strengthen your community, there's an app for that, like the kids like to say. And they are taught how it is that you utilize that app in the best way. And that's one of the things that we do with our youth. But we don't, as elders, try to go in and tell them what to do. We listen to what they want to do and what they think is important for their community. We follow them, but we make sure that they're prepared as leaders to lead us down the path to help them be the ones that make it happen.
And if a person wanted to join the organization, how would they do that? How would they find a chapter in their area?
Okay. You can go on our website, which is www.apri.org, or go to our Facebook page, which is simply our name. And there's an application that's on the website and on our Facebook page. And you can come down here. We have lots of applications. We would love to see you and meet you.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate all your efforts and everything that you're doing. And I mean, I just want to shake your hand again. Actually, let me give you a hug.
I like that better.
Because I tell you, I mean, it's very rare that we get to see the people that are actually making a difference.
Well,
and I thank you. All right.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate you being here.